The following segment is sponsored by Segelke Financial Group. Our next guest here is Jeff Segelke. How are you doing? We love when you stop by.
So great to see you.
Okay, so real talk, when it comes to investing and things like that, I get really nervous. I like to keep my money in my savings account all the time because I want it to be a sure thing. You work so hard for that money. I'm always concerned about putting it into the market and losing it. Who wants that to happen? But you actually are saying that we need to get it out of savings.
Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need to take risk. There are some safe alternatives or very low risk alternatives to leaving money in the bank. And you're not alone, Brooke. There's literally over $13 trillion sitting in money market accounts, bank savings accounts. Think about that.
That's a lot of money.
$13 trillion in the United States. So there's so much money that's just sitting in the bank, earning very little to nothing. The average money market account is probably earning 0.5% per year, if that. So the question is, what do we do? You know, we've got all this money sitting in the bank because we want it safe.
Yes.
We don't want to lose it. We want access to it just in case there's an emergency or something comes up.
Bail money,
yeah,
you never know.
Whatever. And so what do? Well, there's a few different alternatives I'll tell you about today. There's ways to get better yields on your savings. I recently met with a gentleman. He called into my radio show, and he literally has $800,000 sitting in the bank. $800,000.
That's a lot of money.
Sitting in the bank, earning zero. He said it's literally in his checking account, earning nothing. And the reason he has it there is exactly, you know, he remembers 2008.
Yes.
He lost a lot of money. He doesn't want to lose it. He wants it safe.
The fear, it just keeps you from moving and acting.
It really does. So, okay, so what's the alternative? So there's a few different alternatives. One, you could put the money in, you know, banks have CDs, things like that are paying maybe 2 or 3% for a 5-year CD. That's an option. We actually have a 5-year rate, fixed rate account that's paying 3.6% per year.
Okay.
So that's a little bit better than nothing in the bank, or 1 or 2%.
Than nothing, right?
So it's 3.6% right now, and that rate is subject to change, but that's what it's paying right now for the next 5 years. So at least you're earning something on your money. You're keeping pace with inflation. So that's one option. Another option is we actually, for our clients that have, you know, over probably $100,000, we can put together a bond portfolio. So now you're in bonds, and bonds have some safety and some protection in them, to where we can get about 4% plus in bonds over the next 5 years. So now you're earning, you know, 4%. Your money's actually doing something for you.
And you're doing nothing.
And as long as you hold those bonds to maturity, you don't lose. You get your money back, and you get your interest along the way. So there's some really good options that can keep your money safe, keep your money, you know, where it's not taking a lot of risk in the stock market and things like that.
Well, that's great advice there. And you were saying you have a radio show, so if anybody wants to tune in and get more advice, they can do that, right?
They can. So they can listen to us on KNRS, that's 105.9 FM, 570 AM. We're on every Saturday, 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. talking about this, how to get better yields on your savings, how to protect your money. And in fact, the first 20 callers today get they can choose either or, a free guide that talks about these things, or a free consultation with me, where we can talk on the phone or in person about your situation and figure out how to get better rates on your savings.
Great. Thank you so much. Such good advice, as always.
Oh, great to be here. Thanks.
We'll be right back.